DM. Well, my name's DM Rhino, and we're making another homebrewed monster today. This is part 3 of making Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th series. So we looked at the traits, we looked at a couple of the abilities I gave him. Let's look at the actions. What are we really looking at when we play as Jason or when we want to use him as a game? Well, Jason is pretty a tough cookie, I tell you. I gave Jason a multi-attack. Jason can make 3 attacks using his machete or suffocation in any combination. So I did give him just a nod in case he doesn't have that machete. So his machete does a +9 to hit. It's a 5-foot range. It can do 1 target, and it does a 2d10 +5 slashing damage. Okay, but the suffocation is also a +9 to hit. It's a 5-foot range. It does 1d10 bludgeoning damage plus 3d6 necrotic damage. And if the creature is larger or smaller, it has the grappled condition with a DC 15, and until the grappled end, the target is under suffocation. So he's basically holding the target with one hand. And we sort of saw this in some of the movies, in the earlier Friday the 13th movies, how he would use his hand before he got his signature machete. But he can only do this to 1 target. So you can't do 2 targets. You can only suffocate 1 target. And then, of course, I also gave him legendary actions. What does Jason do with legendary actions? Well, he's got 2 because he's Jason from Friday the 13th, right? Yeah. He can use Pounce, which he can move up to half his movement speed, which is 15 feet, and do 1 machete attack. Or I also gave him this really cool thing, Stalker Teleport, because he always kind of appears everywhere. Jason can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space Jason can see. He can see. Jason can't make this action until the start of his next turn. So basically, he can make teleport somewhere on the battlefield where he wants to, right? So how would we use this guy in our D&D game? Well, of course, we would use him in different ways. We would want to make sure that maybe he's a boss, being a CR 13. He is a boss battle, but he's also fun to have like maybe a whole horde of them or different versions of them with that regeneration that you can only stop with cold or psychic damage. It does cause your party to think outside of the box. Normally undead stop with a radiant or fire, but this time I kind of reversed it because, you know, we've seen Jason walk through fire, be attacked by fire, and he still keeps on going. So I thought it would be interesting to make him more vulnerable to cold and psychic rather than being vulnerable to radiant or force or critical hits. So it's a fun little boss monster for you to look at. Until next time.